Now my shit's weird. Oh, there we go.
I think yours
1, 2,
sounds
3. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
I can hear you. Mhm.
How is everybody?
Megan, what is
Yeah?
happening?
Oh, and still
Oh my
I
god,
rise.
I miss you
It
guys.
is
I
hilarious.
haven't seen you in so long, and I
I
barely get to talk to
know.
you.
I'm sorry we had to
Um,
miss last week, everyone.
yeah.
Oh, wait, are we, like, recording for real?
I don't know,
Yeah.
we're just, like,
As I take
talking.
a huge bite out of my oatmeal.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I mean, we might as well. And we deserved the week off, okay? Because we have been busy. Sarah's been working like a damn dog. Meg, you
Mm.
have just been superhero across the board. I've not been doing much, actually. I probably could have worked last week.
You went to Nashville.
Oh my God.
Feel
I
like
did
it.
go
Yeah,
to Nashville.
you're moving to Nashville. That's what we got out of your trip to
No, you know what?
Nashville.
No. No, you know what? No. Okay. I lived in New
Okay.
York City
No,
once
you know
upon a
what?
time when I was young, and I was just like, I can't stay here. Because if I stay here, I'm going to become an alcoholic and I'm just going to party until my head pops off. I felt the same thing in Nashville. I was like, this is my town in all the wrong ways. But I I had a blast. Wow, what a special city. So cool. Went to see
And you didn't
the
make it
Tennessee Titans play the Seahawks. I didn't what?
make it to Santa's Pub. That's the one place you did not get to.
I didn't, but that's not to say that I didn't do karaoke elsewhere. Okay. Um, had a blast. Got to be in Jelly Roll's suite at the Seahawks game. Brag. He looks great, by
Hi,
the way.
how was it?
It
Oh,
was
so he was
lovely.
in the suite with you.
Mhm.
I don't
Mhm.
know why you were like, "I'm in Jelly Roll suite," and I just assumed he just had a suite there that, like, sometimes he uses and sometimes he doesn't.
Yeah.
Which
Well,
makes
that makes
no
sense because
sense.
it's like Jelly Roll has a bar, Post Malone has a bar. I
Yeah.
was so surprised. I didn't know if you guys have never been to Nashville before. Every single bar on Broadway that you like always hear about, live music, da 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 da, it always has a country star's name attached to it. Like it's their
Mm.
bar. Like
Mhm.
John Bon
Mhm.
Jovi doesn't come here and ride this mechanical bull. No way.
Mhm.
Did you have a
That's the only
favorite
Mhm.
thing I
bar?
wish I did. That's the only thing that I wish I did was ride a mechanical bull. Yeah, Post Malone's bar. I know that that sounds like so stupid, but that's where I got up and did karaoke and really came alive. By
Mhm.
the way, I thought I sounded so good, and then I watched the videos back the next day, and I was like, somebody should have pulled me off.
I thought you
My
sounded good.
husband, who apparently loves me, should have pulled me off the stage.
I thought you sounded good. And I thought you looked sexy. And my follow-up question to that is, if Zach wasn't pulling you off the bar, was he having to pull men off of you?
There was a very old man that came up and took his shirt off and showed his nipples, and his nipples were the size of freaking crunch berries. They were huge, and everyone went,
Crazy.
"Whoa! Put the shirt back on!"
You really can't tell because, like, and I know the moment I say this, sometimes you see a gal and her boob shape or boob size, you go, I got a good idea what those nipples are going to look like. A man, you have no.
You have no idea. It's
Yeah.
always a little surprise, isn't
One
it?
of my brothers has the
Mhm.
tiniest nipples. I go, why are your nipples
Wow.
Mhm.
so small? It was
Mhm.
shocking. Shocking.
Mm.
You know what my
At
favorite
least,
descriptor for nipples are is I heard somebody once say she has iPod clicker nipples.
iPod clicker. Oh, like the
Like the old, you know,
old iPod with
like
the
the
big
the
big
circle and the
old
one.
little.
And
iPod, the big nipple.
we've really
Mhm.
shamed big nipples, I think. But
No, no, I think that this was a beautiful thing.
as I'm breastfeeding, big nipples are actually biologically what you want. It's a
Yeah.
Really?
bigger
You want the
it's a
Yeah.
bigger
iPod
target.
clickers.
If you're a
Yeah.
skydiver and you got a little target, you go, "No way I'm hitting that." If they take up the whole field, you go, "I think I can hit it."
My
Oh, and then one
god.
one last thing about Nashville, and I will not say who it was, and I will not say who think about all 32 NFL teams, okay? Somebody
Mhm.
of high stature in the NFL world, I walked in on taking a pee-pee, and I saw his peener in his hands.
Where was he taking a pee-pee?
Jelly Rolls bar? Jelly Rolls
Not a
suite.
Jelly Roll not a
You
Jelly Roll
saw
suite, it was
his
not
Jelly Roll.
at the stadium, it was nowhere near the stadium.
You
What
just
a
walked
shocking
in
move here.
on a was it
He
a
didn't lock
unisex
the door!
bathroom?
Yes, and he didn't lock the
In
door.
Tennessee?
And
Oh,
and
they're
you
going
can't
to
be
hell.
you can't be turning around peen in hand. You
Okay,
can't.
I mean, like, I feel like we can kind of deduce who it was, because
No,
not
you can't. No, you
every
can't. No, you can't. No,
Okay.
you can't.
Okay,
No.
well, my team owners are women, so they don't have penises.
No. My
Oh,
Anyways,
team
gosh.
owner
Nashville,
is
love
old,
ya.
so he probably has a prostate problem and pees a lot, but I don't think that he would
I
go to a bar in
imagine
Nashville.
I imagine
Arthur
your team owner has someone who holds his penis for him when he pees. Like,
well,
that's
I
why I'm like,
declare.
who
Oh.
holds their own penis as a
And
billionaire
while we're
peeing?
on this topic,
Mm.
doesn't it seem kind of fun? Do you guys ever just think, like, "I'd like to do that once?"
Oh,
Y
I'm
No,
Sarah has
no, I'm saying if I do not need to hold somebody else's, I'm just
No,
saying
I
I
wish I
want to
could
experience
l
peeing like a man once,
Yes,
you know?
absolutely. Sarah has potty trained a boy. This trip, I kept being like, "Just pee in the pool." He'd be like, "I have to go potty," and I'm like, "Just pee in the pool. No one cares." And at one point, we were in a kiddie pool, and I was like, "Just go pee," and he was like, "Okay," and he, pulled down his bathing suit
Well,
and whipped out his penis,
Oh
and I was like,
god.
"No, no, 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 no,
No, no, no,
no,
not like
no, no,
that.
no, no," and, like,
I
it
thought you
my
were
bad.
gonna say full diarrhea in the pool.
No, but I had to hold his penis for him to pee in a bush. I've held his penis for him to pee. Um, and even that, I'm always like, "Man, this is cool, you get to do this.
It's
This
so
is
cool
the best part of being a man."
in the snow,
Mhm.
I'd be taking pictures of the art that I create.
The art that I create. Huh. I've never had to
Okay,
hold
so
my
that's
son's penis. He's just always like he does that Calvin and Hobbes like lean back to see like which
So does Zach.
uh
Is there
Yuck.
always, like, a flag underneath it that says feminism or something?
Yes, absolutely.
Um, okay, so that's it for Nashville. Meg, you were in the Bahamas. Did you get into any trouble outside? Because we knew that you were in the casino for a time.
I got into absolutely no trouble. The only trouble I got into was taking care of 2 small children in a foreign country, and that was trouble enough. We landed last night. I'm still like, "Where am I? What's going on?" We landed last night in I would describe it as a blizzard, and then had, like, whiteout snow driving home, so it was like we went from 80
Ugh.
degrees to 29 degrees, like that. I did have a very sporty trip home. Obviously, we bought Conrad a football the first day we got to the Bahamas, and we were all playing football, and it's interesting, and I'm gonna have larger thoughts on this outside of the podcast too, but it doesn't seem like a lot of people are actually having fun on vacation is something that I observed.
Oh.
Maybe because it's extremely expensive, people are taking care of children, you're like, "We're doing this." Like, even at, like, Thanksgiving, we were at this buffet, and I was like, "Everyone here hates each other." Like, not even, like, my family was, like, fine, but I'm like, "Oh, everyone around us is arguing," and I saw so many dads, like, yelling at their sons for not, like,
Ugh.
quote, unquote, "knowing how to throw a football or catch a football." And it's like, yeah, they're not
Ooh.
they're gonna be, like, accountants. That's fine. Like, what do you it's, like, pretty rare that they're gonna be Matthew Stafford. But as I was traveling home yesterday, we were, like, sitting in the Atlanta airport. I felt extremely, close to Sarah. I kept going, "We're in dogs country."
How you are.
And then this older couple, they were decked out in Oklahoma gear, and they turned to Conrad at one point, and they go, "Do you like football?" And I was like, "Am I in Friday Night Lights? Like, is
Do
Conrad
you
being
like
recruited
wow,
at 3 and
football?
do you like football?" And Conrad goes and then they pulled up a
Mhm.
picture of their grandson who is a captain on the Oklahoma football team, and so they were, like,
No way.
telling us all about him. Then we get on our flight, and I see a gentleman, he's in first class, I'm holding an infant, and then holding hands of a boy dressed in head to toe Spider-Man gear, which did cause a minor sensation everywhere we went, and so I go, "Are you Bruce Arians?" And he said, "I am." And I said, "I love you." And he goes, "Thank you, honey."
Thank you,
Bruce
honey.
Arians.
Love him.
Wow.
And so I texted
Sweet
my Colts
guy.
friends, and my one Colts friend goes, "Did he have a Kangol hat on?" I go, "You know it." Of
You
course.
know it.
That's how I knew it
Tangle
was
hat
him.
and a cocktail.
He looked
Wow.
good. He looked really good,
Good.
but then I'm also like, "What's Bruce Arians flying to Indy for? Huh?"
That's
Because
fun.
there's some unhappiness with the Colts head coach. I'm like, "Is Bruce Arians coming here to save the day?"
Wow, I would
We
Mm.
love
should
that for you
we
guys.
should
That
be
is
so
Oh
lucky.
my
fun.
god. That is, like,
Wow,
that is yeah.
what a great sighting. I love going on to a first class flight, like, walking through first class and just like, "Okay, do I know anybody?
Yeah,
Do I recognize anybody?"
yeah.
And wow,
I
you said
hate walking
hi.
through it because I'm like, "This is where I belong." Every time we pass through it, I say to Conrad, I go, "That's where mama sat before you."
I will say that I have heard people with children say that when you have kids, that you do not take a vacation, you take a trip. A
Mm,
vacation is relaxing. A trip is a place that you go with your family and, like, sometimes you have fun.
mhm, mhm, and, like, my
Parts of it
boys
are
work.
fun, parts of
Yes.
it are, like, not great.
Mac, for this being Mac's first trip, A plus MVP, like, get him in at NFL honors, hand him a trophy. He did so great. Like, other people are commenting, they're like, "That's a good baby." People would be like, "You weren't like that as a baby," like, to their kids, like yes. Conrad, very well behaved. My nieces and nephew, angels. Such good, lovely kids. Now, I saw a lot of bad parenting on display, not from my family, but woo boy, just
Ugh.
toddlers in 100-degree hot tubs. Not healthy, not safe.
Oh,
But yeah, I'm just
filling
watching.
it with piss to the
Oh,
brim.
I'm just watching a 2-year-old cook like he's in a crock pot, going, I hope he's okay. Hope he's okay.
We always have Cage in the hot
Jesus.
tub. What's wrong with the hot tub?
I think when they're like, well, they say they can't regulate their body temperature. Cage is
And they're
5. I was seeing like an 18-month-old in a
Yeah,
hot
yeah.
tub that was like making my skin red.
102. Oh,
Oh,
It is something
easy.
that we talked to because somebody told us when we first put it in, because I think he was 3, someone was like, "Oh, it will ruin their sperm count when they get older," or something like that.
yeah.
And I was like, "What?" And so I asked his pediatrician and she was like, "People are an idiot. Like, it's absolutely fine. If he's fine in there, it's fine." So I was like, "All right." But
What
I
an
Wow.
insane
just
thing to say to
went
somebody.
I went off a doctor.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, my
I
doctor.
would like to preface this by saying I asked CJ if I could bring our 5-month-old to the roulette table with me. And he said, "No, I don't think so." So,
Oh,
oh, and
Uh,
why
okay,
can't you?
I don't know, I guess it's, like, illegal?
bad
Whatever,
yeah.
who
They have a
cares?
you are not supposed to have kids on the casino floor. I know that because I remember, like, even when Cage was in a stroller and we were in
They
Vegas,
gotta
they
be
were
on,
like,
like
"He can't be on the floor. They gotta be on
yeah, they
the
gotta be on, like, the yellow brick
outside." And
road,
I'm like,
The yeah.
and it's like, he's not
"Oh,
gambling, and if he was, he'd make you a lot of money because he doesn't know what the fuck's going on,
of
okay? You should've seen him
course."
try and fill out a bracket. Um, Last sports-related Bahamas content, I went to the sports book, as I told you gals, for, like, half a quarter. That's, like, as much time as I could get away. So half a quarter to watch the Colts, and the most team represented there. Now, this is people that have flown to a different country, taken the apparel through customs, and instead of being outside on a perfect 80-degree day, are spending time inside, decked out in their team's apparel, watching their team get their ass kicked, the Cleveland Browns. Just Browns
Wow.
fans
Losers.
ordering carry out so they don't have to leave the sports book, so Bahamian men who are gorgeous are bringing them food so they don't have to miss a second.
Wow. And that's the game
The
they won,
Shador
or is this
wave
the
is
No, they lost. They got their ass kicked by the
the
49ers.
one against the 49ers? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and
Yeah,
the
'cause
man
I'm
next to me kept going, "Pick six right here," every time. "Pick six right here." And it's like, you guys, you need to be like, you're actually donate your brains because something is
yeah.
not normal. happening.
It is interesting, like, cause the Browns, like, God, they have so many great elements on the team, like that, like, and I think Caleb Williams has a lower QBR than Shador, maybe. I could be completely wrong on that. But like the fact that the Bears are doing so well right now with
Mhm.
like Williams, like not Caleb Williamsing out, is because, like their defense, they create a lot of turnovers. So, and Caleb is not turning the ball over himself. So that has been like very lucrative in their wins column. But yeah, it is interesting with the Browns because, like, they're not insufferable, like, they're not like a laughing stock. Like Shador does have spurts of greatness, and then he has spurts where you're
You
like,
know
"He's a rookie."
you know what I think about Shador is, like, if you compare him to Baker Mayfield was sort of like a big personality like Shador is, but
Uh-huh.
Baker was somebody that I don't know, something about Shador is just rubs me the wrong way. Like,
Course,
him
it's the
coming out with the
legendary
trip
shit
creeper and yes, 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 and, like,
where it's like, "You haven't done anything
Baker was
legendary
doing
yet."
stuff like that. Yeah, Baker was doing stuff like that. I woke up dangerous. I woke up feeling dangerous, all this stuff. Um, but yeah, it's just Baker was cocky in a silent way, and I think Shador's cocky in a loud way. I think that's the difference.
And
I
you
think
know that I'm a
it felt like what Baker was doing, sorry, Megan. It felt like Baker was trying to amp himself up for a game where it feels like Shador has this swagger of a guy that's like had a 16 win season. And you're like you were a 500 QB in college and you were stat padding in most of it. So like your stats. So like I don't know where the swagger of being a legend comes from when you have yet to do anything legendary. So like understand amping yourself up and being like, I feel good, I feel brave, I feel dangerous.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, yeah,
That
yeah, yeah.
like, of
Mhm.
course. And like I never liked Baker Mayfield because we played against Oklahoma when he was there in the Rose Bowl, and that was like this like double overtime barn burner, and I didn't like how he acted in the end zone when I saw him. But like that's like that's just like college football bros,
Sure.
where
mhm,
it's like,
Yeah.
mhm.
I don't know.
And I think even with
I'm
Shador,
worried.
like, just leave that shit in college and now you've got an opportunity to take a franchise that's literally the deepest in the toilet it has ever been,
Mhm.
and you have an
Hmm.
opportunity to bring it somewhere again. Yeah,
Will
I don't
say
know.
he was asked a question, and a lot has been made about this past week's press conference, I believe, where Stefanski, he was asked about, like, why is their head coach, Kevin Stefanski, going for it on certain fourth downs? And he really, I mean, like, talk about a leading question. And he really was given an opportunity to throw his coach under the bus, and he actually did the opposite. And really defended his coach and sort of the team at large. And I am obviously a Shador apologist. And I also like there's in the way that it rubs Rachel the wrong way, I go, I like this. There's something about like, and that's me dipping like a pinky nail in. Like if I actually was like, I want to see what's like going on with Shador, I'd probably be like, I don't like this. But this is like from a distance, I go, I like it in some way that I'm wondering if some of the adverse reaction, and this is genuinely a question, is because there is an element of rich kids slash nepotism.
I don't think it's the rich kid nepotism because it's kind of, to me, it's like Steph Curry is a nepo baby, Bronny is a nepo baby. There's like not that kind of hate when it comes to them. Like, but it's like if
People
Bronny was
hate
out there
Bronny.
wearing
People hate Bronny.
legendary. Here's the
Yeah.
thing. I think that Shador gets the hate that Angel Reese does for the same reasons because it's like you to me, you are a social media influencer who is becoming an athlete. You are not an athlete who then turns to social media. Do you know what I
That's a
mean?
good point.
Like it feels
Yeah.
like you started as an influencer and now you are trying to infiltrate the sports world and you have spurts of great athleticism, but you are not going into the Hall of Fame. Not yet. Like
Okay.
Angel Reese might work her way up there and she has a, to me, long way to go. We'll see how loyal she is with Chicago and if she really wants to turn that team around and if that organization is even worthy of turning around. But I think that's where the hate comes from. I feel like it's somebody that's always on social media. I will say that Shador is legendary when it comes to contracts because he made that contract uh like the stipulation for him, whatever team drafted him, was that he got a percentage of his jersey sales, which no other athlete in the NFL has ever done. So he has made millions of dollars because his jersey is the number one
Wow.
selling jersey in the NFL. So it is
Really?
very smart. Was that his idea? Was that Dion's idea?
I
Mm.
Probably. You
cannot
know what
believe
I
his
mean?
jersey
But I think that
sells so
So a
that's a
lot of
well.
people
good
think that
that's a
that's why
good
he dropped because teams didn't want to have to pay out jersey sales. That's like also part of the conspiracy. It was like,
but even, like, thinking about the Dion of it all, Dion was, like, flashy and crazy like that, but he did earn that title, and you saying something about,
right.
like, him actually being, like, an influencer, like, just chronically online,
Mhm.
just,
Hmm.
wanted the whole draft streamed. I do think that there is, like, this fatigue of influencers right now, like, influencer culture. I think
Thank
people are
God.
getting tired of it. And I think that
Been
yeah,
there.
I think you hit the nail on the head there. That's why he is annoying, is that you just came from doing, like, a TikTok dance to now you expect us to but also, on the other side of the coin, it's like, is this just something we're not used to seeing and something deep down inside of us is like, "Well, I want my quarterback to be like Baker Mayfield. I want him to be putting a flag in the
White.
end
No.
zone and why?" Is there an element
Hmm.
to it like that? I think it's probably a combination of everything. I do think he is annoying. I do think that
Yeah.
wearing the legendary stuff and streaming the draft, it's like, "Bro, just chill out."
He was humbled,
But I
though, during it. Angel Reese does have a new boyfriend that I don't believe we've talked about, Wendell Carter Jr.,
Oh
who
yeah,
is, a Magic player, Orlando Magic player, and they look really happy together.
that's so cute. I
for
mean,
her.
So,
love it. Loved her in the fashion show. Love it. I
yes.
love that it's like, I don't know if you guys saw Midge Purse on the Manning cast last night, but some people from our SB's chat were sending it around. But Midge Purse is like this NWSL player who's like hot bod, super hot, great athlete, does Broadway stuff, and but kind of vocal about, like, even on the Manning cast, she was like, "Oh, I thought when we were all really excited to meet Eli because Eli owns Gotham FC, or is one of the
Oh,
owners
I
of Gotham
didn't.
FC, and so she was like, we were all really excited to meet him, and then he's just like weird. There was just like something off about it. She's saying this right
Wait,
to
she
him, and
said that
Peyton's like,
to him?
and he
Oh
was like,
my
Was
gosh.
it
what?
awkward?
That
Yeah, it was
is
Okay, Midge.
awkward,
so
and Peyton's
funny.
like,
Okay, Midge,
I
we
Was
mean, I could have
Peyton
can't.
told you.
dying?
Yeah,
Uh,
Peyton was dying, but like I think Eli is like, he's just
That is
kind of
so
like, he
funny.
does like spin classes with all the moms at his daughter's school. Like I think he's just like this like goofy dad. I don't think,
yeah.
he's also the baby in the family. So like he's just kind of the silly one that never really had to like, and maybe, I
Oh,
think there's
so funny.
probably like hints of being on the spectrum for every elite quarterback. But I don't even know
Absolutely.
about that. I don't know. I don't
Uh,
know. Like I don't know. I'm not saying that.
I'm
We should cut that
dying.
out. Cut that part out.
I'm dying.
I don't
no,
want
I
I
it.
think
know.
everyone's got a little
Okay.
sprinkle of it. Guys, you know what I really, really wanna talk about is the Lane Kiffin
Yeah.
drama
Yes.
happening
Talk about
right
So
now.
much.
online.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. I wish I
Okay,
could call
so
somebody a hoe.
will you lay it out? Will you lay
Ugh.
it out for us for people that are not
Well,
aware
I
of
feel like Sarah, you are
Yeah,
our
I can.
college football resident
who
expert.
can you because like when I hear Lane Kiffin, I have a visceral reaction. So can you just give us like a 30-second history of who Lane Kiffin is up to this point as to why this story has like created such a
really
firestorm?
taken off.
Okay, well, Lane Kiffin has coached for 5 teams in 10 year or maybe 13 years. So like basically he went coordinators. I think he was the head coach of Tennessee. Then he left them for USC. Then he gets fired on the tarmac at USC. Then he gets hired in the NFL. Then he comes back to college football. No one will hire him. He gets a job at Florida Atlantic. Then Florida Atlantic, he does really well. Then Ole Miss hires him, and he turns that program around. He has completely elevated the program, made it very dominant in the SEC. Jackson Dart was his quarterback, who now is on the Giants. And
Mhm.
then, it's like now when the program is finally about to hit the playoffs, he gets offered the head coach of LSU, and that was the rumor for months, and then he takes it.
Hmm,
So
and
leaving your
so
team
he
high
is
and dry. But the other
so
part,
he yeah.
go
What?
ahead.
We're all so excited.
I know.
He wanted to stay. He was like, "I'll
Yeah.
stay and coach Ole Miss through the playoff," and Ole Miss was like, "Get the fuck out of here."
Yeah,
Ole Miss
sorry.
and LSU are bitter rivals. They are geographically extremely close. This is like having sex with your like ex's sister. Like this is like you cannot do this. Wasn't there something with a neck brace at some point? Didn't he even didn't he wear a neck brace? I gotta look this up.
I don't
Maybe I
remember the
Very
neck
remember.
brace, but if you guys
possible.
remember from earlier on in this season, I told you a story about how Lane Kiffin's daughter was
Mhm.
dating somebody on LSU, and that was a huge story because it's like, "Oh my god, Lane Kiffin's daughter's dating somebody on that team." Like, that's gotta be such a stab to the heart for him, and now Lane Kiffin's gonna be coaching this kid.
Yes.
Amazing.
And so the other thing is, like, obviously, you shouldn't get to coach your team in the playoffs. It's like if you're like, people have made the analogy online, like, if you cheat on your wife with your mistress and then you're like, me and my mistress are now gonna get married, but I still wanna live at home for the holidays and just keep acting like a family. It's like, "No, bitch, bye." You know what I mean? You don't
Yeah.
get to put on a different face. So,
I mean, that
you
should be,
obviously
like,
don't get that
illegal.
right. Yes, but the other problem is that the NCAA is set up in such a way that the transfer portal opens at the end of the season, right? And so, and you have to declare and try to get into that portal right away because there's only so many spots. You don't know if another team's going to want to pick you up. And so the fact that that portal opens right at the end of the college football season and it's only open for a short while, it puts everybody in a position to have to make decisions right away. So this is all
Mm,
before the playoffs. This is all before the conference championships and then before the actual playoffs in the bowl games, right? So it's like the system is set up so that it makes everybody fail. You know what I mean? If it was
yeah.
just set up to where the portal opens at the end of the actual season, which is once the championship is declared,
Yeah, why don't they
Yeah.
have
what would be the
2
Just
well,
move
because
you
it.
have 2
they do
windows.
not have a commission. They do not have a
Yeah,
commissioner.
they're a mess.
Oh,
They're a
So
mess.
the
right.
fact that the NCAA doesn't have a commissioner, it's like this lawless town, and
Mhm.
no one's in charge. No one knows what they're doing. They were completely unprepared for NIL. Like nothing, they
No,
cannot
they're a
get out of their
disaster.
own way. They are complete disaster.
Their
So it is
Yeah.
headquarters
partly
is
Lane Kiffin's fault and partly the
yeah.
NCAA's fault.
The headquarters is in Indianapolis. Should I show up and just be like, "Guys, I'll volunteer.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've got, like, 6 weeks. I'm not, like, gonna do full-time, but, and my one idea is you have to move or you have to add a second
Yeah.
transfer portal for the guys
And
that
you're
are
like,
in the
"Actually,
playoff."
I'm gonna be working from home, so that's gotta
Oh,
be
I'm
okay
gonna
with
be
all of
working
you
from
guys."
home. There's a blizzard, but, like, call me. I might answer. Okay, so I'm so sorry. The neck brace I was remembering was Bobby Petrino, who was famously in a neck brace. Like, I looked it up and it was like, no, people think Lane Kiffin was in a neck brace. It was not Lane
Is that
Kiffin.
Okay,
Florida
so
State's
hold
coach?
on.
He was Arkansas's coach.
So, Sarah, I
Oh,
have
okay.
questions. I have
Back
questions
in
about
Sure.
this Lane
years
Kiffin
ago.
thing. So let's back up a little bit. Did Lane Kiffin ultimately decide to go to LSU because Ole Miss was not giving him what he wanted? Because I also read that he wanted to stay at Ole Miss, but maybe I fucked it up and he wanted to stay until the end of the season or whatever.
He just wanted to stay
Was
till the
it
end of the season.
They
so
were
he
gonna
wanted
back up
out?
a
He
dump truck of
specifically
money.
wanted to
They would have
go
given
to
him as much money as exists, and he wanted to go to LSU, despite the fact that
I think
Ole Miss is having a much better season than LSU. But it's
course. But the reason LSU is not having a good season is because Brian Kelly was terrible. At the
Mhm.
time, right now, LSU is paying Ed Orgeron, Brian Kelly, and I think now they're paying Lane Kiffin. So like They are a complete disaster. The thing about LSU is they are a top 5 recruiting school. So it is much easier to recruit players to LSU than Ole Miss. So basically what I'm saying is Lane Kiffin took the easy way, right? Like he's
And
like, if I
why
go to this
is that?
school
Just
because
name
of their
recognition? Gotcha.
history, campus life, university, like the
Joe
enormity of their
Burrow.
stadium. Yes, like
Yeah,
the
okay, okay.
people who have played for LSU. Also, all of their athletics, like their baseball team is very good. Obviously, their
Angel
women's
Reese?
basketball team
Yeah,
is
yeah,
very
Yeah,
yeah.
good. You know what I mean?
okay.
So like
People would
kids
rather go
want to
there
go
Can
than
to.
I
Ole Miss.
It is
Okay,
a
can I
huge
thank
give
you.
school.
can I give you guys just, like, such a hot take that is, like, so anti-sports fan? I love this. I
Yeah.
love that he is going to LSU. I think that this just adds fuel to the fire of the rivalry, and I think that rivalries are something that are passed down from ancestors of old seasons to current players and coaches that are current are the ones that need to keep it alive, and that is exactly what Lane just did. Like, this is gonna be
Yeah.
so much more fiery the next few years or however long he stays. Like, I don't know if you guys saw him on the tarmac and all these Ole Miss fans showed up to, like, be like, "Fuck
Oh, yeah.
Flip him
you!"
Oh, yeah.
off.
Incredible
And it's
work.
also like, why are you taking a plane? I feel like you could drive. It's, like, not that far
We had
away.
that on our show that's airing today. It's like episode 2 of our show airs today. So we have the booing. We have the clothes rack that they put out on the street that was like all of his suit jackets that he left
No.
behind.
Wait,
Apparently, he
what?
also left
What?
behind his dog. He left his
What?
dog behind. This is just like a rumor story, so I have not validated it, but like
That can't be
He left
true.
the
The
dog.
dog's gonna go.
Very
It's just
specific.
going later.
Athletes will just leave stuff, though. They will just,
That's
like, cut and run.
crazy.
Now,
yeah.
Rachel, there was this Hoe a housewife thing. Can you explain
Oh,
this portion of the story?
I know. If you can't,
I
I
don't know
can.
it.
Okay,
Okay, so
Oh, the hoe is
practice.
a oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Go
a
ahead, Sarah.
student reporter or like a small town like local reporter wrote this whole article like before the last game that Ole Miss played, which would have been their rival game, which would have been against Mississippi State. So I think it was on Saturday. Like the article came out on like Friday or something. And the kid was basically like, what are you talking about? Of course, Lane Kiffin is leaving. He's a hoe. He's coached for tons of different teams. He never sticks around, and you can't turn a hoe into a housewife, right?
Ho I
Which
mean,
is a
like,
great line.
pretty funny
Incredible.
comparison.
Very
Incredible.
funny, very accurate. And so Lane goes up to this reporter before the game and confronts him, and he's like, "Don't you ever fucking call me a hoe." Like was
Yeah.
very upset about it, confronts the guy, and then after the game announces he's leaving for
It's like,
LSU. I mean,
"Lane,
Incredible.
if the Hoe shoe fits,
Yeah. Have you guys
wear it."
seen online
just
everyone
wear.
spelling it like Heaux
Oh,
too?
that's
Hoe.
funny. That's
That
how.
is funny. Well,
And
so
go fuck yourself. Yeah.
when CJ
Go.
and I got engaged, I took a picture of my ring, and said, "I guess you can make a hoe a housewife." And then the Indianapolis Star ran that
What?
in a story.
And good for you. Okay,
What?
They
Brad.
were like,
Okay,
"Local
Brad.
comedian gets engaged in front of Reggie Miller mural," and then shared my tweet. And so in
Oh
my
my
own
God.
hometown
That
newspaper,
is so
I called
funny.
myself a hoe.
You gotta frame that.
And I was
That's all
like,
time.
"Guys, this must have been a slow news day. You just have me calling myself a hoe running."
Anyways,
Ugh.
I love this. I love this for the rivalry. I love it for the fans. I don't love it for the players. I do feel bad for the Ole Miss players that they're
Well,
gonna have
and so
to.
then there's
Of
this other
course.
tiny, like, less mentioned nugget. I didn't realize Brian Kelly's son played at LSU. So
Yeah.
he's on the LSU football team, and they had senior night, and they would not allow him to have his own father come to senior
Mhm.
night because he was the now Brian Kelly claims he quit. I don't know. No, he says he was I don't know. There was definitely like, did he quit? Was he fired? What was but they have to pay him. So he was fired, but Brian Kelly's son, like, held up a sign that was like, "We love you, dad."
No, it was
Oh my
his
god,
shirt.
that's so
So he comes over on the sideline because I wanted to do this video of it, and he lifts up his shirt, which is just like a white he lifts up his jersey is a white, and it just says, BK on it, like in Sharpie, like,
Burger King.
not like one draw, like
BK.
Yeah,
BK. And it's
Have it your way.
like, you put as much effort into this as Brian
mm,
Kelly did into the LSU program.
coaching.
Like, this is why he was fired, and, like, you should be fired for how chintzy this fucking take on a shirt is. It was just like,
How do you
weird.
guys feel that also I read somewhere that Lane Kiffin said that an Ole Miss fan tried to run him off the road
I'm sure.
in a car. How do you guys feel like LSU, the rivalry's on their side as well. I would assume up until, 24 hours ago they fucking hated Lane Kiffin. How do you think how would you guys feel if your rival's coach came
Mhm.
to then coach your team? Like it is kind of a
Yeah.
weird adjustment. Like, wait, I
So,
hated
yeah.
you and now I have to love
When
you?
when the Colts hired Josh McDaniels, I was
Mm,
disgusted, and then he left, and then he didn't even coach. Like, he was like, I think the Colts did wanna hire him, and then he said no, or, like, he said he was coming. There was definitely it was drama, and he ended up not being our coach, and then I hated him even more. So it was, like, good. I
yeah.
think players, it's much easier, and we talk about players like this. People say it about lots of different kinds of players, but they're like, Tyrese Halliburton is coming to mind. People will be like, "Yeah, if he wasn't on your team, you would hate him, though." And it's like, maybe, um, but he's not. He is on my team. So I think there is with players, I feel like it's just so much easier to see what they're doing. With a coach, I'm like, "Oh, okay, so he's, like, good in meetings." Like, I don't know. Like,
But I
it's
think
harder.
there are easily hateable players and easily hateable coaches. Tyrese Halliburton is not an easily hateable. Like I think
People
sure
hate
if he
him.
stomps on your team, but he's like such an incredible player and he's very fun
Hate
to
him.
watch. So
Why
that's
do you think he
crazy to
got
me.
voted most overrated? Because he's hated.
But well, but somebody like Lane, I think is
Mhm.
easily hateable.
Oh, yeah.
So I think he's gonna have his
Oh
work
my
cut out
god.
for him to sort of like be like, hey guys, hey,
If
I'm here
Kirby
Yeah.
now.
Smart went to Alabama, I would be
Yeah.
devastated.
What would you
Like,
do?
I would or, like, first of all, he came from Alabama, so, like but he played at Georgia, so, like, he worked with Saban. He was Saban's defensive coordinator for years, and so it's like, or if he went to Tennessee, like, I can't even think about that because it makes me wanna, just cut all my skin off and leave Earth forever, but, like, I couldn't do it.
It happens in college all the
I
time.
will say that coaches in college are very hard to come by. So I understand the excitement because like players are dime a dozen, tons of players transfer all the time. You have people like working their way up. Like we had Diego Pavia on the show yesterday, who's the Vanderbilt quarterback. He started in JUCO. He had to work his way up to a D3 school. Then he like moved up to New Mexico State, and then he gets to Vanderbilt and like turns them into this
Oh,
like incredible program. And so it's like, you know, you just don't know. But like there's tons of players out there and you get all these five-star recruits, but like sometimes they don't really turn out to be five-star recruits. Sometimes they just turn out to be okay. But coaches are a completely different story. Coaches
Mhm.
are very rare and hard to come by, and it's very rare for them to stick around and be successful for a very long time.
Just the more that I think about it, like, this took so much guts, and, like, what I'm thinking, like, did he hire, like, a PR person? Like, he's gotta
mhm,
completely change his image in this place that, like, once upon a time wanted to see him burn.
mhm.
So,
My
I am
favorite thing
really
was
excited to kinda see how this unfoils.
yeah, I mean, he's like immediately a hero at LSU. So it's like, yes, Ole Miss hates him. Yes, Tennessee hated him when he left for USC. Yes, USC fans hated him. That's why he was fired on the tarmac, like not even allowed on the plane after a game. Like he had to find a different way home. So like, I think that, like, that is just what comes with the territory of being a college football coach. But the kid that wrote the articles, like, kept always used, like, those svelte, skinny pictures of Lane, but, like, as they started all the rumors about Lane leaving started to come, he started using fatter and fatter pictures of Lane, which is just, like, really funny because but he
Mhm.
looks good now. Listen, he's gonna be great. As an SEC fan, I'm looking forward to the challenge. We still don't know how many coaches from Ole Miss are going to come to LSU with him and how many players might leave Ole Miss and go to LSU in that transfer portal.
Right.
That's always the fear. So it's going to be a really interesting offseason in college football.
Was
You
listening to, who was it? Who was it that we were just listening to, Sarah, on ESPN, the reporter? You were
Marty
like, "Is
Smith.
that Marty Smith?" He was just
Marty Smith.
talking about how that's what was taking so long with their negotiations was they were trying to figure out who was coming with him.
mm,
So,
it
And they haven't
is
announced that though, right?
no. No,
Sorry.
no,
I
no.
know as
That's why it's been so I mean, maybe by the time this pod is out, they will have, but
I know as women, we hear this phrase a lot, and I'm wondering if college presidents, college athletic directors are not as attuned to women's dating, but you lose them how you get them. And
mhm.
if he's gonna cheat on his lady to be
See?
with you, he's gonna cheat on you to be with the next one. And Lane
Wow.
Kiffin is a serial cheater.
Fair, fair,
Ain't
fair.
ain't that the
Ain't
truth?
that the truth?
Um, okay, do we have a producer Daniel question this week?
I do. It came in just under the wire. Okay.
Oh.
His questions are always like so thoughtful. In observance of the inevitable fights that will take place over the holidays with our families, what's the nastiest sports argument you've ever been in? Do you stand on your opinion or have you had a change of heart?
See a sports argument. I mean,
Honestly, I feel like sports arguments are like the best possible scenario in a family of all the things
I
that could be
know.
argued about right now. I
Well,
pray
I
for
don't
sports
ever.
arguments.
We all like the same things, like, I don't really.
Yeah.
I mean, one of my brothers still hates Andrew Luck and says he's a pussy.
Oh,
I
And I just
remember when I first met Chris, I said that Ryan Fitzpatrick was like the greatest quarterback of all time. Not the greatest of all time, but I was like, he is such a good quarterback. And he still brings it up. He never lets me live it down. But I'm like, he is a good quarterback. He wouldn't have played for 7 different teams if he wasn't a good quarterback. Yes, of course, he did not become a franchise quarterback, but to be able to adapt into 7 different systems and be a journeyman and be successful in a multitude of places, which is something that Sam Darnold is doing again right now. I
mhm,
think that is
mhm.
equally difficult. Like, you're always with a new coach, you're always with a new offensive coordinator. Like that I don't think people give enough credit to how mind-bogglingly different it is to go from completely different systems and institutions at a time. When you are Tom Brady and you have the same offensive coordinator and the same QB coach and the same head coach and the same owner year after year, your level of success goes up. I
Chris,
I
she
don't know.
hasn't had a change of heart.
You
She
don't
still
just
A
get
believes
change
it.
of
named Fitz
heart. I do think
Magic.
he's great. Do I think that he's in the Hall of Fame? I probably would back off of that. But now he's a great broadcaster. I don't know
He's
if he's
doing
a Hall of
great.
Fame
Mhm.
broadcaster, but he's great. He's
You don't
fun.
get the nickname Fitz Magic for nothing. Okay?
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, okay, here's one that I think would be here's an argument that I think would be fun this holiday season that I could pitch to Daniel. Um, ask your family between Bill Belichick and Jordan Hudson, is it true love? Ask that. Ask
And
that.
pay attention who says true love.
Megan, I think
Or
you
is
should say
he
on this
being drugged?
podcast what you said to us in the chat when we watched Bill Belichick at Jordan Hudson's cheerleading competition. Do you remember
So
what you
there was
said?
yes, there was a picture circulating of Bill seeing Jordan, who I believe is 24, at a recreational competitive cheerleading competition in the Toddlers and Tiaras full glam. And I said, finally, something she's too old for.
Which
It's a
I've
great joke.
like continually laughed at. Look at us all in stripes, by the way.
I know.
I was
Well,
thinking that
we're both
too.
in Sarah and I are both in camo and, like, the exact stripe, and then
I
Rachel's in a
know.
stripe. I love fighting about sports, and
I
I
do
actually
too.
think it's sort of oh, yeehaw. I think it's, like, one of the last great things you can fight about because you can't, like, Google it, like, it is passion. Like, if you were to be like,
Mm,
Fitzpatrick won X games, but that's not what you're
mhm.
arguing. You're arguing, like, is he a great quarterback? And, like, that's not, like, factual, that's just, like, how you perceive it. I fought about and producer Daniel, if you're not aware of this event, I fought about and continue to fight about the like reasons and origins of the malice of the
I
palace
knew you were going
and
to
the
say that.
fallout
I
and the
knew
fallout.
you were going to say that.
Yes, I think it's like a true cultural like milestone. I think the way we talked about athletes and black men
Mhm.
um, was so toxic
I
surrounding
know.
that and would never be covered that way
Mhm.
now, I hope. But it really was like even and like I have not had a change of heart. If anything, I've gone even further into how I feel about it, but I've definitely made Pistons fans um they probably didn't have a change of heart. They probably were like, "No, we didn't do it." Been able to get to the point where it was like, it was bad. Those guys were bad, and those guys should never like
Mhm.
be allowed in public again.
Do we have a sports bitch of the week? Because I feel like we should make it that reporter
I
that
did
called
love
Lane Kiffin
him.
a hoe.
There was also a story that came out, and I wanted to do this on last week's pod, and then we ended up not having it. During the NBA draft, there was a family, the Knupples. Do you guys remember Knuppel? There were like,
No.
I'm gonna read you all the Knuppel brothers' names. Okay. So Knuppel was drafted by the Charlotte Hornets. Then he has a bunch of other brothers whose names are the thing is I gotta make sure I got the Knuppel names right, or else I'll never
Is
forget
that is
myself.
how it's
K
pronounced?
Knupp
Knuppel?
yes, Knuppel. So he is Kon. Then there is Kager. Then there is Kinston. Then there is Cash and Kid. And I believe his dad is and uncles are Clint, Clay, and Cole. And they were known
All
as
spelled with
the
C's or K's?
with K's. And
Uh-oh.
they competed
Who
as
is
the
this person?
flying the Con
Uh,
Knuppel. I'm gonna get to why he's a sports bitch, I
Land the
promise.
plane.
But I can't. You guys don't remember the Knupples? The Knupples are like so
Oh,
okay because of those names.
those were what Rachel saw on the old man in the bar in Nashville.
Okay. Okay, so the Knupples,
Punchberry Knupples.
the Knupples exist. They all have K names. It's crazy. So Con Knuppel is now on the Charlotte Hornets, and he was playing a game in his hometown. And his mom was like, okay, come over for dinner. Invite anybody else you want. The entire team went to the Knuppel family home for dinner. And apparently
That's fun.
neighbors were coming outside because so many like Lamborghini SUVs were pulling up. Like
That's sick.
they arrived on like a charter bus and then with like crazy luxury cars. And every single member of the Charlotte Hornets team went to the Knuppel team to have a family dinner. And I thought it was
Oh,
really
wow.
sweet and full circle for this family that I roasted endlessly to then have a beautiful moment.
That sounds
Love
amazing.
it.
I want a Knuppel invite.
I want a Knuppel sandwich.
So the name of the Ole Miss reporter, he writes for On Three, and he's an Ole Miss podcaster. His name is Ben Garrett, and he's the one that wrote the article about can't turn a hoe into a housewife. And apparently, Kiffin approached him on the field before the game and said, "You want to walk in here and call me a hoe? We'll see how that goes." And then he stormed off, and it's like, "Yeah, we will. We'll see how that
You
goes,
oh,
Lane. You a
you
It's
hoe."
giving
oh.
It's giving, "Who do you think you are? I am." And he storms off.
Yeah. It's like you had all this time on the bus to like think of something to say to this guy, and that's what you came up with. Like, whew,
We'll see
Also,
how that
yikes.
Hoes have done a lot for history. Let's not let Hoes contributions to society to go unrecognized this holiday season.
Have you
Amen. And you know
seen
what? Sports
the
bitch of the
meme?
week is just all the hoes out there.
All the hoes.
All the hoes. What
Have
were
you
you gonna say,
guys seen
Sarah?
the pictures of Lane with the 2 hats? You know, like on college, when you decide who to sign with, you put the
Oh
hat on
my
and one says
god.
"Ho" and one says "Housewife," and he's just sitting
Oh my
there with the
gosh.
He
it's
is
so
very
great.
good
I'll
at
send it to you.
social. He is very good at social
No,
media.
he's not the one that put that out. That's just been a meme that,
Oh.
like
He seems
yeah.
so
Anyway.
upset by being called a hoe, which it's like, it's so funny
To
when you find a
also
trigger for a man.
I know, but to also do that at a game that's called the Egg Bowl is just like, I mean, like,
To
to me,
also
it's
do
just like
that to also do that while you're wearing a visor as a grown man. The fuck out of here.
wild,
Ah.
wild.
Hoes, we
Okay,
salute
Okay,
okay.
you.
guys. Hoes, we
We
salute
salute.
you. And that should be the title of the episode. We will be back next week to talk more sports and be more bitchy. Love you guys. Bye.
All
Cool.
righty.
Good up. Good up.